games against Tottenham always mean something. But usually, I think what they mean, if we're all totally honest with each other, usually we seem to be scuppering Tottenham's season. We've got quite a habit of it. We seem to be party poopers, let's say. We sort of rain on the parade. We piddle on the Tottenham fireworks, don't we? They're on the cusp of achieving something, and then we go and spoil it. That's what we are. Not actually achieving anything per se ourselves, but just spoiling Tottenham's momentum. This is different, and this feels different, and that's a bit weird. It has to be said, as you hopefully watched the video that I put up last night. This was, in many respects, Tottenham's opportunity to spoil our party. But what it feels weird for a West Ham fan, it doesn't feel like we should be having a party, because we're not a party team, really, are we? Of course, Tottenham's party for the season is not ended. They can win the FA Cup. They can win the Europa League. Well, they better focus on both those things now, because we have ended pretty much their hopes of getting top 4 this season. But that wasn't what this game was about, because that is what it used to be about. That normally, it would be a case of we're lower than Tottenham. If we beat Tottenham, they're 9 points off 4th place. Well, that's happened. The only difference is this time it's us in 4th place, which is crazy. But what it does, it's a little bit different. So, for instance, before it would give you the bragging rights. You go into work with your Tottenham mate and you say, we beat you last night. And look, yes, they would be disappointed. However, they probably had bigger fish to fry. Just in the long, short and medium term, of course.
Well, we've said many times that we'll look at the Championship to scout players and to recruit some players. And next season will be no different. We'll certainly look closely at the whole Tottenham team and see who we can bring back to the Premier League.
But now we find ourselves actually in this game of huge importance. Huge importance. And I do hope that people remember this. And I said it of the Crystal Palace game. I also said it of the Sheffield United game. Clearly, they are almost 3 separate tiers of teams. You've got a relegation team, you've got a mid-table team, and you've got a top team. I know Tottenham are in 9th, but let's give ourselves... Let's not demean Tottenham so much that we don't give ourselves the credit. Tottenham are a team with world-class players. That's what we beat. We didn't beat a team that's really a mid-table team in Tottenham. We beat a European standard team. But this is what I want to be remembered, is that any time we I don't want us just to remember that actually we got to Liverpool and we bottled it, or this, that and the other. Because I think more often than not this season, when we've had a chance to go into a game and win that game to get into a lofty position to climb the league, we've mostly done it. We succeed more than we failed. Clearly, if we weren't, we wouldn't be in 4th at this point in the season. Maybe I should have had a little look at the league table before I did this, but at the point of recording this, Leicester were winning, beating Aston Villa. That's a good thing. I'm sorry, I know there's some Aston Villa fans that watch this channel, but for West Ham, that is a good thing. Or so I thought. Well, hold on a second. That probably stops Aston Villa in terms of their games in hand being able to match West Ham's points total. And Aston Villa had a very good season. But, that means we can't catch Leicester if they keep winning like that. What am I thinking? We can't catch Leicester. I shouldn't even be thinking that, but I am. Oh, I am. I didn't look at that league table and look down today. I looked up. And do you know what I thought when I looked up? I thought, Man City. They're a bit far away, aren't they? I'm so excited by this team and what I'm seeing with this team. It's unbelievable. Let's just go through the players of what we saw against Tottenham. Fabianski, he had a little flap early on. You saw the little flap early on. He seems to have him won a game. Gio talks about Dawson having a little mistake in him each game. I think Fabianski, it's not costing us. It's not happening at the moment. And then he seems to have his little error, his little flap, or he misses a catch, doesn't he? Or he drops the ball or something like that. And then he's now starting to go on and make really either world-class saves or just really important interventions. And I love the one where he almost dived on the floor and came out and claimed it. That was a good ball across. I mean, it really was. It was a dangerous ball into the area, and for him to come out and claim it, it's really, really important. I loved what I saw from Soucek. It was funny, actually. I don't think I'd given it too much thought at the time that it was Soucek who had been marking Son out of the game, but I was very aware that Son had not been involved in this game, that he hadn't been a threat at all. This partnership that we used to see in between Harry Kane and Son just hadn't materialised. And Soufal had just done absolutely remarkably. The centre halves in terms of Diop and Dawson, I thought were outstanding. We were seriously under the cosh in this game for particularly large sections of that second half. But rarely did they get the opportunity to tap in from close range. Well, clearly, otherwise they probably would have tapped in. But it was more or less repelled and left to long-range shots. Look, let's talk about Diop just really quickly here. This is something that happens repeatedly. I'm going to tell you all three now. There was a bit of point this season where I thought Diop, Dawson and Balbuena would all not get a chance and were out of favour. First of all, it was Diop was in the team, Balbuena couldn't get in the team, right? Diop gets COVID just before a game, Balbuena comes in, and I thought he was outstanding by the time I got in. All of these guys have played their part in us climbing up the league. It's not like one centre half has come in and we've climbed the league. No, not at all. That's not what's happened. So, Balbuena. I thought, Balbuena's not part of David Moyes' plans, and he gets in the team. I thought, yeah, he's playing really, really well. I thought Dawson was just there as backup. Almost, if you'd have asked me, I would have said Ogbonna, Diop, and Balbuena were all ahead of Dawson. I thought that. And if you'd have said to me, would Dawson be around next season? I said, no, he's just on loan. Just on loan as a bit of cover from Watford. Then he gets in and becomes a mainstay and looks like an absolute god, basically, at centre-half. And then Ogbonna gets injured and Diop comes back in. And now I believe this is now two performances that I've seen from him like this, by the way. But this one topped the lot, actually. But if you would have asked me during the transfer window, would you sell Issa Diop to bring in a £20 million come in or something like that, to bring in someone else? I probably would have said yes. I probably would have said, well, I can't see that Moyes wants to use him very much. And I would have been confident that Moyes would have got a defender in to fit in this system who would have worked quite well in it. But there he is, Diop. Let's be fair, if we had a game in 5 days' time, well, maybe more or less do, and we were playing the same formation, would you change any one of those two centre-halves? I'm not sure you would. Such was the commanding nature of their performance. And I just think it's absolutely miraculous what's happened with these players, who each and every one I don't feel are going to feature or they're on their way out. And Moyes brings them back in and they play. And the system is brilliant for that, by the way. And you've got to praise someone in the coaching staff, maybe Nolan, maybe it's the captain, maybe it's Noble, is cajoling these players and keeping them motivated. So when they do get their chance, they're coming in and they're playing really, really well, with almost no change. So you can change the component parts and it almost doesn't matter. I'd say the same with Cresswell in that respect. I thought Cresswell was finished as a left-back a couple of seasons ago. Not anymore, no. Moyes has devised a system where somebody can cover him and somebody could help him out. I think when he goes forward really, really quickly, I think whoever's on the left, be it Fornells, and a couple of occasions this time it was Jesse Lingard, covers him, or Declan Rice moves him. Allows him to get up the pitch. There was one point during this game where he marauded up the pitch, and what he did is he misplaced his final ball. Otherwise, we were in again. But a really good performance from him. Declan Rice in this game, I thought, look, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was Declan Rice's best game, but there were some telling tackles, and I certainly felt in the first half that Declan Rice and Tomas Soucek had the measure of Ndombele and Højbjerg. But let's just get to Soucek, because I didn't have an awful lot of time to talk about him yesterday. I think it's very, very hard. Sorry, yesterday, you know what I mean. I think it's very hard to scout for those qualities. I think it's very hard to know what you're getting. And when I say those qualities, I'm talking about that determination, that fight, that will to win, the battling qualities, the old cliche, would you want this guy next to you in the trenches? And I think Tomas Soucek, you'd say unequivocally, yes, I absolutely would. Because he seems to have that wonderful thing in his character, where he seems to be sort of a friendly and a gentle guy, but he's willing to run through brick walls. He's completely determined. And actually, in terms of what he's willing to do for his team, completely ruthless. And I think those are a hell of a couple of attributes that you don't always find both those attributes in the same person. And this is what I'm talking about. This is not even talking about skill. This is talking about personality. And I mentioned it yesterday's video, I do feel that there's a force of personality running through this team. And you very much saw that. I was never in any doubt that Soucek was going to get the stitches come back onto that. We've seen it before with players. I've mentioned it before. I mentioned Terry Butcher, Paul Ince, and I was going to say spring to mind, and our own Stuart Pearce spring to mind as players who had bad injuries and ran back on the pitch and carried on.
I think Tottenham were amazing. We attempt to injure Tomas Soucek. He had big gash, got stitched up, and when he came back onto the pitch, ran past me and left with his potato salad breath.
I was delighted to see Fornells, delighted to see him involved in the goal as well. And the fact that he can go out, miss a game, miss a couple of games, come in, like I said with the centre-halves, come in and be a real important part of that. And this is what Moyes is building. Moyes is building a squad, and I'm really excited about it. Because we're only at the start. We're only at the start. This team and this squad can get better and will get better. Lingard, I don't know. Somebody said in the comments the other day, you seem infatuated with this bloke. Yeah, okay, there you go. Yes, yeah, I am. I'm amazed by what we've signed. It is now totally clear why David Moyes wanted to bring this guy in. He is completely ingrained himself into the team and the work ethic, and shows just absolute wonderful technique on occasions. The best technique of all to have, by the way, is the technique of finishing, and he seems to have it, and that's really, really important. No wonder Moyes thought he could play him and get him in, and if Antonio wasn't playing, we'd still be able to score goals, because this guy can finish. I was really pleased with Bowen. It's his second, I think, second half decent game in a row. I love the assist. The assist, lovely shape to the cross. I think he made some mistakes, but he works really hard. I feel in the first half, he was a massive part of shutting Tottenham down that side with Reguilon and Son. He was a massive part of that with him and Soufal. Absolutely brilliant. And also, I don't know if I'm missing anyone out. Mikel Antonio as well. Let's get this right. Mikel Antonio looked fit. Very, very fit. We saw obviously he scored early at the start. However, any time a ball was played down the channels and he had to run or hold the ball up or keep his body and use his strength, keep his body between the ball and the defender. I thought he looked sharp. He looked determined. I thought he just looked fit. You can tell when Mikel Antonio is not fit. It's so blatantly obvious. And fair play to him. It was clearly the right move. He did have a fitness test before the Sheffield United game. He probably could have played in that game, so I heard. It was the right thing to give him an additional bit of rest. And I hope what happens now is they realise, because they have this flexibility now to play whatever, the false nine or whatever you want. And we may see it against Man City, by the way. We may do. It's going to enable us to give Mikel Antonio a rest, which is clearly what he needs. And I mean, just what I saw from the whole team was absolutely outstanding. I love the fact that Ben Rama came on and did his stuff. I would have liked us to have got it to him more, but I thought it was the right thing to do, actually, to bring him on, because it just gave Tottenham a little something else to think about. And under other circumstances, I think it may well have yielded a goal on the break as well. I just don't feel it really worked out as much as we'd like, but I thought it was really good to see him come on. I absolutely loved seeing Johnson come on. I really like this kid. Not because he doesn't do anything outstanding. I just, for all the reasons I've already said in videos sort of earlier on in the week, earlier on last week, sorry, should I say. I thought that was really good. Bale was causing problems. Bale was starting on the right. He was moving into the middle, creating space on the right when he moved, and then other people were moving into that space. There was clearly an issue. We were getting attacked down there. Moyes changed the tactics, and Moyes just put Ben Johnson into position. And I thought, what he just shifted the whole defence over a lot. And actually, I saw him moving around quite a lot as well and sort of changing position in many respects. I'm very, very pleased to see him and to see him involved. Look, all in all, really, really, really good performance. Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not even sure West Ham deserved to win that game. Tottenham had more possession. They had more chances. But we did win. That's the point. You're not going to play brilliantly in every game, particularly when you've got a style of play that West Ham have. But we did it. We got the points in a sort of must-win game, and you sort of felt the longer it went on. Yes, Tottenham got into it, but there was a desperation about them. You didn't feel that it was ever a clinical. You see Man City play; it's clinical, the interchanging. And just the longer it went on, they were desperate shot from Gareth Bale, desperate shot from Harry Kane whilst he was falling over. Not at any point did you ever think this is a clinical and incisive team. And I think we played on that, and I think Moyes got it absolutely spot on. Happy days.